What's going on, guys? Stock Jock here. Up 400 bucks on the day, and I am probably done for the day right now. I've been up and down. It's just been kind of a choppy morning. The market is just red, so nothing's really cooperating too much. And basically, I made most of that money from just one news play that we'll get to in just a minute. So let's go over today's trades. Out of the gate, I was watching a few stocks. BNTC was one of them, just because the chat room I'm in was also watching it. And when chat rooms start watching stuff, I watch stuff because when 800 people buy one stock, especially if a low float stock, all at the same time, it's going to move. And so that's kind of what happened here. They were watching BNTC out of the open and got a pop up, and they kind of curled down. And I missed the red to green move I missed that move. That was the money move right there, especially breaking high day. I missed that, and then I missed this one. So I was looking to play candle over candle on the 1 minute. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit better here, so you can kind of really see what's going on. All right, so we broke we broke high day here and got a nice pop. Coming back down, going candle over candle here would have been a nice entry here, and get another pop. And this one, when we didn't get a nice clean follow through, that's kind of an indication it's running out of steam. We kind of have a double top up here, up in this area. Uh, but nonetheless, the chat room still want to give it another shot. They already had enough money on it as a nice win, so they're just going to scalp the move, and they went long and looking to go long inside candle over candle right here for the $4 break, and that's also what I did. Got on that train, got in at 398, sold at 402, 60 bucks. It was, it's not one that I wanted to hold on to because this is actually the third kind of move up, and we had a double top up here. So, definitely just one that I wanted to make a quick scalp off of and move on, and that's exactly what happened. And I'm glad I did because it kind of just sold off from there. DAIO, this was just a low float stock that was just hitting scanners that I thought I'd give it a shot. I wanted to try to get in for the 450 break, which never came. So I got long rounded. Well, it did break, but it came right back down. So I got in at 447. It popped up immediately, and I tried to sell above 450, and I just got filled at 445. Basically 2 cent loss. So now I'm down to like $3 profit on the day. It wasn't my finest moment, but whatever. I was just happy to be out of this because it's not moving on any new. There's no news on this stock. It was just hitting scanners, so other people were seeing it, and the market again was a red day. So like stuff like this that is moving up for no reason probably isn't going to run. So I tried the scalp, didn't work out. So BNTC, this is one that the chat room wanted to play again. As you can see, there was a nice little area of consolidation in here. You had the pop up, but then you had like 10, 15, 20 minutes of all it trading in the same range. That's kind of a bullish trend. I didn't like how we're below the VWAP in doing it. I would have liked to have done it on the VWAP, but nonetheless, it's kind of bullish. And the chat room had success, really good success on it already, so they wanted to give it a shot again. And I went long right in here, and I took 2,000 shares. I was going for the break at 350, so I sold half at 355, and as it was coming back down, I sold the other half at 346. So a nice little win there, but it wasn't ready. It was done. The move is over. So that's the important thing of just watching these trends here. Sell sell especially later in the day. I like to sell a little bit to know I have profit. If it keeps running up, I'll sell my second half. But right here, I got the pop up. I sold. Um, let's see, what did I sell it at? 355, somewhere in this range right there. And as we're coming back down, I sold the rest at 346. So, uh, you know, ideally, I would have sold half here and then the other half up here, but it just didn't work out that way. And that's why I like to lock in my profits when I have them because you never know. It might pop up and then come all the way back down. and it would have been a disaster if I would have held it down to $3 or whatever. I mean, that just definitely would not have made my day special at all. PTX was a interesting one. The daily chart's kind of interesting. You kind of see this downtrend here, but if you were to, I hate, let's try the draw tool. Let's just see what this does. No, I don't want to draw. Okay, so if you just kind of see a trend here, it drops down, pops back up, drops down, pops back up, and it's using I think this is the 20-day moving average on my chart. Yeah, 20-day moving average as resistance this kind of whole time. It popped up above it here, but recently, hits it, comes back down, hits it, comes back down, hits it, comes back down, and then here you kind of have a breakthrough here. And it broke through, and I don't know why. It might have been news, but then kind of came back down, and then it hit here, and it kind of acted as support. This is the daily chart again. So a lot of people were watching for a candle over candle, and they went long on this, and this is causing that spike here today. Just a technical trade, and we tried to get in. I got in at 342, basically sold even. I don't even know where. Let's see, 24 inside this move. I just didn't hold it long enough, but it definitely got moving and went, close to $4 today, which would have been right up in here, right in the resistance area, and came back down. But I was kind of going for the scalp of 350. It just didn't happen, and it already had kind of a pretty big move above the Bollinger Bands here. So as we're getting above these Bollinger Bands, you got to think of it like a rubber band. It's wanting to sling back down inside these Bollinger Bands. So um, the tension was building, and as you can see, it came back down up here. But you never know when that's going to happen. So played it safe, got out even. ELGX was my next trade. This one, I didn't have the volume loud enough on my Benzinga newsfeed. So I heard ELGX, but I didn't hear what the news was. And I went over there and all of a sudden shot up out of nowhere. And this was kind of careless of me. I shouldn't really have taken this trade. It was going up and I didn't know why. So uh, obviously it was good news. And the news was like it resumed shipping a certain one of its products, blah, blah, blah. But, that's not like amazing news. It halted production for a reason and now it's reshipping it. La di da. Whatever. And I went long inside the spike. 668 is when I got in, and I got out as I just got 675 somewhere in there. It went as high as 690, but again I didn't know why it was going up. I didn't really know the news. I was trying to fumble through it as I'm playing the stock, just going for a quick scalp. What is that? 7 cents on 2,000 shares. So just a quick scalp trying to add to the day. So SKLN, this one was a little bit of an interesting play. You can see on the 5 minute, out of nowhere it had this huge spike, and then it started to kind of consolidate in this area, and I was really hoping for, we would break this 272, 273 range here and maybe move back up. I think they have a conference call tomorrow, and maybe some people you can expect would buy now in anticipation of that conference call. But as people were buying, there was a lot of buying going on inside these candles. It just was not moving up, and I was one of those buyers. I got in at 271, somewhere over here. Yeah, 271, somewhere in here. And it just every time you would get up, buyers or sellers would just hit hard, and it just felt heavy. So I got out, played it safe. I lost basically 2 cents, $40 on that trade, and just didn't do me right. And from then on, it just kind of was choppy. From there on, I kind of lost the momentum. So the idea was sound, especially I think if we would have broken this area right here, I think we would have gotten a move up. This is a stock that does like to move. Look at these spikes on the chart here. It just didn't happen today. So sold it, moved on. So Hess is my next trade, and it reminded me why I don't trade large cap stocks anymore. I just hate them, and I'm no good at them. And I mean, look at this complete joke. So out of nowhere, Heskett's 200,000 share block buyer. Someone just bought 200,000 shares. It spiked from 58 all the way to 59.74. Okay, and then came all the way back down. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And maybe there's some kind of news about the hit. I don't know. So I bought in at 59.04, somewhere in here, 1,000 shares. Nothing big. It wasn't huge on the day, so I didn't want to go big size here. And it just proceeded to just sell off. It's like, what the heck? No one's taking note of 200,000 shares that were just bought out of nowhere, and it just kind of sold off. And I'm like, well, screw this thing. I'm out 58.84, lost 20 cents on the trade. Wasn't too thrilled about that. And as soon as I did, look at this crap. I mean, the stock is all over the place. Popped up, went up to 59.50, and then back down to 59. And now, guess where it's at now? High a day, hit 60 bucks. I mean, it's just all over the place. Like, how do you trade this crap? So it just reminded me that I suck at large caps, and I shouldn't touch them, but I did today, and I got burned, and it ate up most of my profits. At this point, I had like nothing. So I think I had 60 bucks sitting down, and I was done for the day at that time. I was just waiting for a news play. So, and my news play is what was next. CIDM. Never heard this company before. I can see that it's a low float stock with 8 million shares in the float. And this one had news come out, as you can see right here. Heard it on Benzinga, that their show, I think it is now on Apple TV. La-di-da, but you have some kind of big words there. Apple and TV and anything. If you have a small company that is attached to Apple in any way for just a moment in time, it's usually gonna pop, and that's kind of what happened here. I mean, it's really no big deal that it's on Apple TV. I mean, people actually have to watch it. Just because you're on Apple TV doesn't mean you're gonna be a multi-billion-dollar company all of a sudden. It means people still have to purchase your product, but it was enough to draw attention to the stock, and it definitely made a move. As soon as I heard the news, I got in at 165, which was right in here somewhere. Yeah, basically the top of this candle right before it halted. Got in at let's call it 166. Got in right at the top, and it halted, and you had a 5-minute circuit breaker. And as it opened up, I just started selling because usually, if it's going to gap up, I really wanted to see on the L2 here decent size gap up, and it just wasn't happening. People were kind of loading up the ass trying to get out. So when I saw that, I knew that as soon as it opened, if it was gapped up at all, I was going to sell into that immediately and not try to hold for a bigger move up. And I'm glad I did. I took 3,000 shares initially at 166, and inside this candle here, I sold 1,000 at 180, 1,000 at 178, and 1,000 at 175. So that kind of made up my profit for the day there. Basically 15 cents on 1,000 shares, another 10 cents, another 13 cents. So that's where I got my 400 bucks from total. So I made about 340 on that one trade, and the market's kind of choppy today. Things aren't really moving like they have been in the past couple weeks. So probably call it a day there. 400 bucks for a couple hours of work. I'll take that all day long. So as always, a link is down in the description below for a link to Benzinga and for the chat room I use. And if you have any questions, find me on Google Hangouts. I'll be on there today. Happy to answer questions. You can also email me. Both my Google Hangouts and my email is stockjockat@gmail.com. So again, if you have any questions, I'm here to help, and I will see you in the next video.